Hello, I'm John Adams, editor of Digital Photo Magazine, and in this video we're going to look at how to pop colour in Photoshop or Elements software. This is a really popular technique that allows a colour subject to pop out of a black and white background. Like most things in Photoshop, there are lots of ways of achieving this effect, but I'm going to show you a way that's really intuitive. It's easy to do and it will work with any subject under the sun. Now, first of all, you need your shot to contain a colourful subject. So load your picture into Photoshop or Elements, then make sure your Layers panel is visible by going up to Window and choosing Layers from the list. It'll then pop up on screen. In the Layers panel, click on the Adjustment Layer icon. That's this half black, half white circle, which you'll find at the top of the palette in Elements or at the bottom of the palette in Photoshop. Click on that, and from the drop-down list, select Hue Saturation. Click on that and the Hue Sat palette will appear on screen. To quickly remove all of the colour from the image, just grab hold of the saturation slider and move it all the way to the left. That strips out all the colour and gives you a black and white version. Now, it's not the best possible way of converting a shot to black and white, but as you can see, it's really fast. Now we'll just close the Hue Sat palette down now it's done its job. You can see here, alongside the Hue Saturation Adjustment layer is a white rectangle. This is the layer mask that's attached with that adjustment layer. Where this mask is white, the adjustment layer is having a full effect. But if we paint black into it, we paint effectively a hole inside the mask and reveal whatever's underneath, which in this case is our full colour image. So what we'll do, we'll grab a brush from our toolbox, and then make sure that black is your foreground colour. You can do this quickly by hitting D on the keyboard and then hitting X on the keyboard. Another way is to click this icon here. That sets your foreground and background colours, and this one here, the double-headed arrow, swaps them over, so we've got black as our foreground colour. Now with the black brush selected, what we need is a soft edge brush, so we can select that from the brush preset picker and just choose a soft round brush. Make sure the opacity of the brush is up to 100%, and then you can simply paint into this mask and you will reveal the colour from underneath. So all we have to do is manually paint a nice accurate selection around our subject to reveal the colour against a black and white background. So we'll zoom in a bit, that's Control and plus on the keyboard. Just zoom into your subject, and then you can adjust brush size using the square brackets keys. Left will take you down, right will take you up. So we'll use a relatively small brush on this example image. We'll hold the spacebar to scroll around, and then we can simply start painting away. Now, as you're painting, you'll see that as you get to the edge, it can be a little bit tricky, so you need a smaller brush. But a good tip is to start with that small brush and just paint round the outline of the subject. So here we've got a 20 pixel brush on this subject. I'm just going to click once, then I'm going to hold Shift and start clicking around the outline. And this makes the paintbrush work a bit like the polygonal lasso tool, so we can actually click along and quickly go around the outline of our subject. When you get to the edge of the frame, just hold down the spacebar and move it across. Now we can hold Shift again and start clicking around. So by clicking around the outline, we can quite soon take in the whole of the subject. So I'll just keep on doing this until I've gone all the way around the outline, and by the magic of video, I'll join you in just a few moments. There we go, I'm just getting towards the last few clicks of our outline selection, or our outline mask painting, and we're just getting up to the end. That's pretty much there. I've got a couple of strands of hair I can quickly take in. There we go. Now we've painted around the outline of the subject, and what's a good idea once you've done that is to double click the hand tool to go back to full screen, and then what we can do is hold down the Alt key and then click on the layer mask. That shows us our outline, and with that outline there, it makes it nice and easy to fill this area with black. So we can zoom in a little bit tighter, just on that part of the image there. Then we can grab our paintbrush again and use a slightly bigger brush this time and just start filling in that area with black. We know where our edge is, so we can just nip around there and fill in all that area. Now, provided you have a solid outline, one tool that can speed this up is the paint bucket tool, and that's grouped with the gradient tool here. If we select the paint bucket, we can then simply click inside that outline to quickly flood fill those areas. There we go, that's just about filled the area. We'll have a few little bits and pieces left over, and all we need to do is pick up our paintbrush once more and we can just paint those out. Just get rid of all those lines in the subject. And there we go, we're just filling in the silhouette of our subject, taking in all the bits and pieces we've missed, all those little white areas. Oh, I've gone over the edge there, but don't worry, we can soon tidy that up. Okay, and then we've completed our mask, and we have all those areas now painted in black. If we now hold Alt and click again on the mask, we can see the extent of our work. And you can see that's a pretty good job, but I can see a couple of errors, that bit where I went over the edge. And the beauty of having a layer mask for your popping colour is you can adjust it. Because just as we painted black to reveal the colour, we can paint white to hide the colour. That then restores the effect that our black and white adjustment layer is having. So if we zoom in on this boot here where we've gone over the edge, all we've got to do is select a white paintbrush. So we grab our brush, make sure our foreground colour is set to white by clicking on the double-headed arrow or pressing X, and then we can just set our brush size and tidy up that area quite nicely by losing the overspill that we made with the black brush. And there we go. That's a great way of popping colour in Photoshop or Elements. It uses just one adjustment layer and you end up with a punchy, colourful result with your full colour subject popping out of a black and white background. Give that wonderful technique a try with your pictures, and thanks for watching.